Hi, everybody. So welcome to Prime Professional. And this week we have a wonderful guest who I've actually had the chance to work with as well. And we were going to talk a lot about home inspections. Yes, first-time home buyers, it's a must. You got to have a home inspection. So right now I want to go ahead and introduce Techlet Piquant with Florida Detailed Home Inspections. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Techlet.
Yes, hello. My name is Techlet Piquant. I'm licensed here in the state of Florida, the sunny state of Florida. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a gym rat. I like to go to the gym. I do a lot of those stuff, me and my wife.
All right.
But other than that, I love doing the home inspection business. It's one of the things that I enjoy doing. So pretty much just something simple about who I am.
And how long have you been doing that again now?
I've been doing it now for 5 years, going up to 6 now.
Fantastic. And you're based in Florida?
Based in Florida, correct.
Love that, love that. I've had the chance to, I was just saying this to you earlier, had the chance to work with your wife as well, Sandra Piquant, who's a real estate agent and a fantastic real estate agent. So shout out to her, big shout out. And she said, you know, you definitely got to have my husband on and talk about the inspections. So I'm glad to have you here.
Thank
With
you.
that said, let's just get right into it. Home inspections. So what would be one thing you tell a first-time home buyer related to inspections on a property and why they should need an inspection done?
Well, one of the most important thing to have, the reason why you need a home inspection is you want to have an inspector to come out to your property to actually have the property further evaluated, meaning to check the integrity of the house, meaning the structural integrity of the home.
Okay.
So that means plumbing, wiring, electrical, all these things needs to be checked because you want to know the condition of the property. Don't just go out to say, oh, the property looks beautiful, I want it, but you need a home inspector to actually come out and just further evaluate and see what's going on with the property.
And what's the average cost for a home inspection these days?
Now, an average cost for a home inspection can run between, I would say, $350 up to about $500, and again, and that's depending on the size of the property.
Okay, and also possibly the scope of work, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Okay, great. So, you seem very knowledgeable. What would be some of the red flags that you've seen over the years that a first-time home buyer really needs to keep their eye out on?
Well, one of the red flags I would say, I'll give you two.
Okay.
Plumbing and roof. And there's more. There's more. There's like electrical wiring, plumbing, you name it. These are one of the most important things to check because these things are behind walls and you can't see them. So what we go out to do is check these things because if there's problem with it, defects or hazardous defects, then we would recommend a licensed professional to have it further evaluated.
Okay, love that. So, we're just coming off of another anniversary from Hurricane Andrew last year, right? Not last year, but last week, right? A lot of individuals, some individuals, I should say, not a lot, don't think a home inspection is needed. I can take a look at the property. I can see that there's really nothing wrong with the roof. I don't think there's anything, I turn on the faucet and the water's working. I don't think there's a problem. I really urge a lot of first-time home buyers not to have that mindset, right? Because things happen down the line. And what you don't want to have as a first-time home buyer, and correct me if I'm wrong, Techlet, is where you buy the home and you didn't do an inspection, nothing came up on the appraisal that you did as well, and then there's electrical problems or there's roof problems. Now, keeping in mind, you now own the property, right? And the last thing we want to have as a first-time home buyer is your money is already being poured into the home and doing all the repairs instead of doing all the wonderful, nice things that you want to do to a property when you first buy it. What would you say to that?
Well, I would say that's a bad thing to do. You always need a home inspector, especially with your first-time home buyer.
Correct.
For example, I won't put no name, but I did a home inspection for a former NBA player in Fort Lauderdale Beach, a $1.8 million home.
Wow, okay.
And he skipped out on the home inspection. Sure enough, I went out to the property just to do a 4-point in a wind mitigation.
Got it.
And it was a disaster.
Wow.
Things that needed to be passed could not pass because there were problems, especially roof. And one of the things about roof is that the important part of a roof is you want to know whether if it's properly structured together, meaning if there's no defects, because we got to go in the attic, we got to check the roof deck, we got to check shingles, you got to check tile.
Make sure it's tied down right as far as the roof and everything else. Got it.
And one of the things I always say to my clients is the reason why most people are concerned about the roof is because of J. Jason. Do you know who J. Jason is?
No, tell me, please.
J. Jason is actually June, July, August, September, October, November. I learned something I learned in high school.
Right. Okay, I love that.
So that's one of the main reasons. So do not skip out on a home inspection because it is very important, because don't forget, this is your investment. Yes. You're investing in a property, so you want to know the condition of your property.
And right, the condition of your property, condition of that asset.
Correct.
Absolutely. So one of the other things that came up with one of my borrowers is, I do the inspection and I find something wrong. Can I negotiate that with the seller?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
What I normally tell my clients is, well, we're only here to provide you the report on our findings.
Right.
Our report is not there to make you afraid. I believe there's a solution to every problem.
Everything. Yep.
So if there's a plumbing problem, okay, we got to get this addressed. Wiring, it got to get addressed.
Correct.
So a report is not to make you afraid. It's only there to show you, hey, there's a problem in this particular area. Let's have it get it further evaluated by a licensed professional, and let's get the ball rolling so that way you can purchase the home. And any credit that you need, whatever needs to be worked on, get it happen. That's
good. So that report that you give, just for our viewers and folks out there, it's really important because that can hold a lot of leverage if you really want to negotiate some of those items such as electrical, plumbing with that inspection report. So you can share that inspection report with your seller and say, hey, listen, we've identified these issues and I do not want to purchase the property at that price that we had agreed on. Are you willing to make some seller contributions or some concessions, maybe even doing the repairs yourself before we actually close, and then have the inspector come back out and make sure that the work is done legitimately, right? So those are also important. You've been doing this a while. You've had a lot of experience, and I'm sure with Sandra as well, you've seen some of the homes that she's hopefully, helping her clients to buy. What's one of the worst experiences that you've seen something just horribly wrong with a home that you've seen over the years?
One of the properties I went to is actually in Miami Gardens, and this house was built in 1940 or 1950.
Okay.
Wirings are cloth wiring.
Okay.
Cast iron.
Wow.
So one of the things is with those older homes, they tend to have crawl space.
Okay.
So I needed to go underneath the crawl space.
Okay.
Got access.
Right.
Have cast iron. Underneath the whole property, cast irons is corroded. It's completely done. Now there's another problem. The cast iron,
just it. Wow.
It's not done. So the cast iron are exposed.
Okay.
So that now means rodents can crawl in. So found evidence of that by going into the attic.
Right.
Once I opened up the attic hatch, went in, it's dark. As soon as I flash my light in there, you can see the rats. You can just see rodents just crawling. And just the feces everywhere, just rat droppings everywhere. So one of the things that we do is we do put on the full mask so we don't inhale any of those things. And also we have protective gear.
Good.
And I can tell you a whole lot more about that property.
Right.
But again, the buyer was willing to purchase it. And they got all those problems solved. We came back out and it was all done.
Right. Good. So it doesn't mean necessarily that a home shouldn't be bought, right?
Correct.
If you have some negotiations that can happen between you as the buyer and the seller, right?
Correct.
So don't rule out those opportunities, but the advice is definitely to have a home inspection done. So folks, we're going to wrap up. Listen, it was a pleasure having Techlet on.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Techlet, give them your full name again, the company, and your phone number.
Yes. My name is Techlet Piquant, founder of FL Detailed Home Inspection. My contact number is 954-851-5504. And thank you again.
Great. So once again, Prime Professionals, looking forward to talking to you all soon again. Take care. Bye now.